Alberta, as of December 2024, had the unemployment rate of 6.7%, which is quite high as well. And now, Trump's tariff coming up as of February 1st. Now, keeping all these things, facts in mind, what or how do you see the market of Alberta, real estate market of Alberta in 2025? Now, my main concern is, what if I'm buying a house in an already inflated market and end up losing money and my price of my house depreciate instead of appreciate?
People are losing a lot of money in Ontario as for one main reason that there were price wars, bidding wars, and like something was getting listed at 1.4, selling at 1.65 million. Today, you list something for 800,000 in Calgary. It will sell for 810 or 790 or 780, depending on how right or wrong it was. The interest rates, the the bloodline of mortgage industry. The interest rates have come down significantly as far as Bank of Canada's prime is concerned.
Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are doing well today. Today I'm one more time. I'm today with Judith Sheikh Sahab, who is an experienced realtor with lots of years of experience in the real estate business, and we are going to talk about the very hot topic of Alberta's real estate 2025. Judith Sheikh Sahab, first of all, thank you for your time today. Now, as you know that in 2024, the housing market of Alberta looked really good. I mean, in fact, I was looking at my own property assessment. It went up quite a bit, and housing prices in general in Alberta went up, and we did good. Now, going into 2025, I was actually reading Stats Canada inflation report last night, and they reported that British Columbia, BC, had the highest rate of inflation with over 2.5% as of December 2024, followed by Alberta with 2.5% inflation rate. If we talk about unemployment, Alberta, as of December 2024, had the unemployment rate of 6.7%, which is quite high as well. And now, Trump's tariff coming up as of February 1st. Now, keeping all these things, facts in mind, what or how do you see the market of Alberta, real estate market of Alberta in 2025?
So there are too many variables in this equation. It's not an easy question to ask, but we have data. We have enough data to analyze what we can expect from the market in 2025. Um, So first, let's look at what happened last year, 2024. First half was a crazy sellers market. Second half turned to be sellers to balanced market. Going into 2025, we already see that it's a seller market in properties priced around 500 to 550, especially duplexes, row houses, townhouses. And as we climb up the ladder to lane and then to front garage, 700,000, 800,000, it is in balanced market, and above that, it's a pure buyer's market. So, what a buyer's market is that buyers have more options to buy. Seller's market is that few sellers, more buyers, so they can get competing offers. And a balanced market is then when enough inventory is available for all buyers to buy. So this year has started differently. Normally, every year, post COVID, the first half has been very busy, but it has so far not been that busy, especially in the segment of anything which is above 650, 700. It is busy in a lower segment, row, town, and duplexes. So basically, 450 to 600 is busy. The interest rates, the the bloodline of mortgage industry. The interest rates have come down significantly as far as Bank of Canada's prime is concerned. And last summer we were at 5%. Today we are at 3.2%. 5%. But the fixed rates by major banks was last summer around 5.3%. Right now it is around 4.4%. So that has not come down much. The banks have not passed as much discount as has been offered or reduced by Bank of Canada on their prime. In addition, but variable mortgages have had penny to penny change. So if you were at a 5.5 variable, now you should be 1.75 less. Um, so let's start one by one. What we expect from the market. We expect it to be a stable market this year, especially for products between 450 to 800. Um, Real Estate Board, Calgary Real Estate Board is forecasting around 26, 27,000 sales this year, which is at par with 2024. Despite that, we expect more inventory, but sales are expected to remain consistent. A lot of new buyers are expected to enter market as the interest rates lower. And overall, last year we had a across the board average sale price increase of 7.5% approximately. This year the prediction is only in mid twos, so 2.4, 2.5, and not more. So that is a clear indicative that some properties will maintain or lose a little bit of price, and others would not gain price as expected. Yes, decently located, uh, ideal locations, hot properties will still continue to do well, but overall, this is not being seen as a price increase or a double digit price increase in any segment here.
Okay,
That
great.
answers your question?
Yes, definitely. Now you mentioned interest rate. Now, of course, my next question is around interest rates as well. Are we going to be expecting more reduction in the interest rates in the coming weeks or months? And what impact will that have on the real estate market?
So we are at 3.25 as we speak.
Okay.
We are expected to go to around 3% in the first quarter, followed by another cut, and the year should end at 2.25 prime, 2.25 to 2.5 prime by Bank of Canada. That is a significant decrease in 18 months if it happens. So let's say since last summer, if we land at 2.5, that's like half.
Right.
Um, the mixed reports by inflation overall, they say that the inflation is below the target inflation, under 1.8. So maybe we get a cut or not. I strongly feel that we could get a cut on the January 29th and followed by more cuts. We're already in a neutral rate zone. We're knocking doors at the neutral rate zone. So expected further cuts will take us exactly there. And that is expected to improve people's affordability for real estate. And once that improves, more people will come. And that is the reason we expect 25, 26,000 sales in Calgary. And yeah, that's about
I
it.
mean, so people will have more buying power.
Yes,
Of course.
that is
Yeah.
expected.
Of course. Now, my next question is if I'm looking at Ontario's market, where how prices of houses have gone down. In fact, I personally know my brother's friend who has lost quite a bit of money on his own house in St. Catherine area, and other people as well. There are videos now on YouTube. People have lost 100K, 200K in housing in Ontario. Now, if I'm an investor here in Alberta, an investor not for the rental market, but let's say if I'm buying my principal house, I have a family, and I want to make an informed decision in buying a house in 2025. Now, my main concern is, what if I'm buying a house in an already inflated market and end up losing money, and my price of my house depreciate instead of appreciate? You know, what are your thoughts on that? And my next question is, are we in an inflated market, or the market you think in Alberta has is stable now? What would be your honest opinion for a person who is wanting to buy a house for his family and want to live in Alberta for a long period of time?
It is true that the prices in Alberta have increased significantly. A house which used to be 400 is knocking 670, 680, 700,000 even. But that 700,000 or our bench price, mark price around that figure is still much lower than the east and west coast. The Ontario market, if you buy something over there for 1.1 million, you can find something similar for 700, 750 over here. And similarly, BC has always been high. So as compared to, so we're not Toronto, we're not Vancouver, but at the same time, we do have a lot to offer. So if someone is buying in Calgary, the informed decision would be they should run the comparables. They should see how much similar properties sold for, what was the price increase overall. No, I do not think we are in an overly inflated or inflated market. I think we are still in an affordable market. Remember, real estate in Canada is expensive as compared to other parts of the world. But at the same time, when we compare ourselves to those two major cities, no, we are not inflated or overly inflated. Yes, we are much higher than what we used to be. And I would like to add that, yes, Edmonton is much more affordable than us as being a bigger city, not as big as Calgary, but still it's considered a bigger city. Well, 800, 900,000 people. It is more affordable, but no, we are not an unaffordable city yet. And I don't expect that to change this year either. Secondly, when you're buying for yourself, you're going to move into it. In the long run, you're not going to lose money. People are losing a lot of money in Ontario is for one main reason that there were price wars, bidding wars, and like something was getting listed at 1.4, selling at 1.65 million. Today, you list something for 800,000 in Calgary. It will sell for 810 or 790 or 780, depending on how right or wrong it was listed at. You will not see it selling at 950. You did see it in the beginning of 2022, but not anymore.
My next question is about land versus, let's say, front garage houses, right? So people who are wanting to buy a house, what are your suggestions for them? Any pros and cons you can talk about in lane versus front garage houses?
So I'll not say one better on the other one, but I'll discuss them one by one. A laned home is a home in which the entrance is on the main and there's no garage on the front, but the garage is either not there or it is in the back. And front garage home is by it's very self-explanatory. It's a front garage home. Entrance is in the front and garage is in the front. So a laned home, you would need to most of the time come out of your garage, walk a little bit, and then you enter your dwelling or your property. So you do see weather a little bit. Your backyard may not be that big because you have a garage in there unless you don't have one. Your home may be much more brighter in the front because you don't have anything sitting on your driveway. You have a small yard in the front and there's no garage. So you'll have more windows in the front of your house as compared to a house with front garage. A laned home would tend to be more affordable as compared to the other house, the front garage, because it is on built on a smaller lot and you move up from a laned home to a front garage home. A front garage home, once you are in your car and you park it in the garage, you don't see any weather, any sunlight, any snow. You just walk into your mudroom. The development because it is most of the time attached. So that is one advantage. Your garage is more usable. Some people can even keep a refrigerator in there or some storage because it's much more accessible. At the same time, your main floor front would have lesser windows unless you have a very wide house. and a second floor would have more light. The houses with front garage tend to have a bonus room, which is very rare in a lane home because one can build on top of the garage, so it makes your square footage bigger. A laned home will have similar square footage for the main floor and upper floor, but a front garage home will most of the time have a bigger frontage for the second floor. So both are good products. It drops down to your affordability, what your mortgage pre-approval says, what you can afford, what you how much you want to spend, and what is available in the
A
market.
follow-up question. Let's say a person is approved for both lane house as well as a front garage house. Now they are a family, a small family, husband, wife with two kids. They are okay with 1800, let's say 17 or 1800 square footage in a for a lane house. Uh, as let's say if you are a friend as or as a real estate agent or professional, and they don't have any big needs as well, to have big families over, they are okay with 1800 square feet of a lane house in this current market. I heard you in the other video you saying market is also uncertain in Alberta. The uncertainty, when especially you talked about interest rates, especially when they go down, market is always in 2025 it could be uncertain as well. Now keeping this in mind, the person who is eligible for both, but he's okay with the lane house as well, what suggestion would you give him in order when he's going into this kind of a market in Alberta?
So it's a very personal preference. It depends on where he wants to buy, what's more available over there, um, what has more inventory, what has better price. I have seen people pre-approved for 1.5 million and spend only 700,000 because they want to pay it off early. And I have seen people pre-approved for 700 and buy exactly at 700 to max it out. So it comes down to a personal preference. In my opinion, one's needs matter. If they are going to be needing a bonus room for kids playing area, then they may want to go with a front garage. If they're not going to need such a thing, or it's a small family couple and they're just starting their family, maybe a lane home may be a good option for them. At the end of the day, it is what they like more than what they can afford, and then the affordability question comes in.
Okay. Next question, which is a popular question among home buyers as well. What are some of the good or popular or good areas, good communities of Calgary that you would suggest? There was a question, for example, I saw in the community group. One person was asking, mahogany versus cityscape. For example, what would you suggest to me? So again, what communities are? This is a very common question that I'm pretty sure you also get from your clients.
I've answered this question more times than I can remember. A guy who wants to live in mahogany will not go for cityscape because he's looking for a lake community, and cityscape has no lake. Yes, a guy who wants to live in mahogany will choose between mahogany, Auburn Lake, maybe Arbor Lake, maybe another community, maybe Coral Springs, to have that feeling. So they're not really comparable. But yes, it comes down to where you want to be in the city. What are your requirements? Every quadrant has great communities and otherwise not so great, or maybe with a higher crime rate, I would say, or maybe not the best commute, etc., etc. So I do not consider any community be the best or the worst. It is individuals' circumstances. So if you work downtown, you may want to be in the west part, and you may want to be in Altadore or Aspen or Springbank or West Springs. And if you work in Airdrie, you may want to live in Carrington, Livingston to make your commute easy. So I see most people making these decisions based on schools, their work location, their commute, or otherwise access to Stony and Deerfoot. So people make and university, as the kids are in high school or going I'll see a lot of people moving for high school. Yes.
I guess just one my comment as well I would like to give. A lot of, because I live in Southeast, and a lot of people of our like a Pakistan, or if I talk about from the Pakistan or Indian community or other community groups, they think that mostly the Pakistani people, Indian people live only in Northeast. When they, for example, when they start thinking about Southeast communities, they have a perception that there is nobody there, there is no halal store there, but it's not the case. I live there, and we have a growing community now in the
Yes.
communities of Legacy and Mahogany, and you
No,
probably get it.
I totally get it. And there's hardly a quadrant in Calgary where you can't find a halal meat shop. Rather, there is none. I can name all four quadrants with a shop and other things. But you know what? You don't buy meat every day. You don't buy a naan every day. You would do a weekly grocery run. So other factors, as I mentioned, commute to school, university, work, the environment you want to live in, the and other and the list goes on. That is the real and what you can afford. A guy who can afford 2.5 million would want to be in Bear Spa. Um, Most likely, you will not be able to bring him to a 1.2 million Alta Road duplex, although it's a great community. People would take a lot of things in account before making the decision.
Great. Last, in the end, any last thoughts or input you would like to give, especially to the buyers and sellers as well, who are looking to into the real estate market of Alberta, in Calgary, in particular, Alberta in general, in 2025.
Um, First, I'll talk about buyers. In my opinion, buyers should make a move uh, based on what their needs are, not based on what they want. The needs I'll define like school, commute to mosque, commute to other things, your workplace, and etc. Similarly, if you just want to buy a property because you like it, you may turn on, you may end up selling it sooner than later to move to a place where you want to be. So make an informed decision, make a list of uh, things you need, and then after that, get a pre-approval done before you see the first house. Because I have seen people looking at 800,000 houses when they only qualify for something which is 550, and they end up buying neither because one they can't afford and the other they don't like. Sellers. Sellers are entering into a different market going this year. It is not going to be like what it used to be 22, 23, 24. So the houses will need to be better presented, rightly priced, and best advertised for them to move. If you're going to have an overpriced house, not properly staged or ready for listing, it will not move. You're only going to waste time. So I recommend um, listen to the expert, listen to your agent, see the comparable sales in that area, how much property you're competing against, and then list your house. Yeah. Those are the only two advices I have for buyers and sellers. That's about it.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Judith. That's up, and I'll also leave the as contact information, the description of the video. If anyone
Inshallah.
wants to approach Judith here, feel free to do so. On this note, I would end the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit the like button, share it with your family, friends, and people who are planning to move to Alberta or planning to buy a property, sell property, so that they can benefit from this information as well. Until
Inshallah.
next time, Khuda Hafiz.